today. First and foremost, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Maharaja Agrasen University, Professor R.K. Gupta ji, Chancellor's nominee, Shri Suresh Gupta ji, for gracing this occasion, and Dr. Aparna Mahajan, Director and President of IIC, Maharaja Agrasen University, for giving this opportunity. Thanks a lot, ma'am. And all the Mentee Institutes, presidents, conveners, and esteemed faculty members. It's very happy to meet all of you through this digital medium. And the next 30 or 45 minutes is going to be a knowledge dissemination, a platform and exchange platform instead of just broadcasting. So on this note, let me get into the topic quickly. Yes, is it visible? One last time I want to confirm.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is visible.
Yes. Yeah. The today's topic is how to plan startup, legal and ethical steps. Pandemic has given us a great opportunity to connect people. I think someone has to mute. Kindly mute yourself.
Mute. Please mute yourself. Yes.
Participants, all of you are requested to mute yourself, please.
Yes, the pandemic has given a lot of opportunity to all of us to connect each other and share our expertise, because of which today's session is also possible. We have listened a lot about startups, legal and ethical steps. In fact, MIC has conducted many sessions in online in 2020, 21, and wherever it is possible. They are insisting upon inculcating the startup culture at the institution level. So when it as the introduction goes, I'm fortunate to lead both IIC here and coordinate student development cell activities in Satyabama University, which is one of the prestigious universities in India, and we are in the top 50 ranks of NIRF in the last 7 years. So we have a lot of expertise here to exchange to each other in bringing the innovation ecosystem. That is what I'm trying to present to you, all of you, instead of just sharing what is there in the Google itself. So the topic is about startup. I divide this talk into two sessions. One is related to how we can inculcate the spirit of startup among the students, because we are going to experiment everything on the student. We are working for the student. Student is a raw material for us. So how to mold this raw materials idea into a potential startup is the first segment of today's session. So after that, we'll be heading towards the legalities as well as the ethical steps of it. So this is the mood of central government when it comes to inculcating this habit of understanding and thinking about the startup ecosystem. It was started like a movement, and now we are slowly heading towards making it as a culture to ourselves. That is why we have programs like Mentor Mentee and many other things. In fact, as rightly mentioned in the invocation addressed by Shri Suresh Gupta ji, that Mr. Deepan Sahu sir, Dr. Abhay Jerry sir, Silvarani ma'am, or the officials who are consistently guiding all of us in this process. We have recently organized a regional meet of IICs in Southern Zone, and Satyabama University has hosted this with 150 colleges participated in that, and around 700 participants also exchanged their ideas. So in that meet, Mr. Deepan Sahu sir was quoting that we are slowly moving about fear of talking about innovation and startup to freely talking about innovation and startup. This is what exactly he put in his words in his inaugural talk. Exactly, it makes a lot of sense because once upon a time we used to fear about talking about startups. Oh, it is not our job. It is not an institution job. It is something which happens outside the campus. But today we are freely talking about it. We are having a lot of discussions, webinars, knowledge forums, talking about startups and what is the necessary support system required to make these startups available and realizable venture inside the campus, whether it is a college or university. People are ready to think about it and encourage the students. So we are heading, in fact, as per the dreams of our government of India, we are heading towards the culture. It is not a movement at all. It started in 2018. Now innovation has gone into a level of culture. Basically saying that why startups are so attractive, even for the students and faculty friends. Even I'm a co-founder of a startup in my own institute. We have a startup now, and in our institute, we have around 24 plus startups. And we have our TBI, which supports us in this process. So what I do is, instead of just giving the information which is there in the Google, I'll share my own experiences in building up the startups and legal and ethical points around it. Will be more useful because you have already seen a lot of information in the Google. I need not once again ponder that to you. So the immediate attention towards startups is grabbing slowly because it incurs less expenditure initially and you can scale up it, and you need a limited expertise to start. You need not be a business tycoon to think about making a startup. So with an idea, with a decent potential idea, which can be commercialized, which is a commercially viable solution, you can always have an idea of going for a startup. But how the government is supporting to it, there are many things because government, the reason behind many reasons are there, but one of the potential reason behind supporting the startup is, yes, small businesses generally helps for a larger economy, for the healthy economy. That is one of the reason why the government is very much focused on it. And when it comes to the other one, startups generate a lot of employment opportunities. That is one of the potential reason here. And if you want me to highlight what are the support the initiatives that the central government is bringing us, IPR, once upon a time, we seldom speak about IPR, and today IPR facilitation becomes a very, very easy task for everybody. And taxation system is very lucid, and we are able to enjoy a very good taxation system for small companies and startups, and easier compliance if you want to set up a company, because once upon a time people would not have even dreamt about starting a company. Now even a student can do it with the faculty support. This is the beauty of today's culture that prevails around us in the academic institutions with the support of government of India. So when it comes to this is an interesting thing because this is not my slide. Actually, it has taken from, of course, from a Business Today pick, and the source is Niti Aayog, as it mentioned. In fact, in the regional meet we have organized, Dr. Abhay Jere, you know, that India's Chief Innovation Officer, was talking about gig economy to all of us. Because tomorrow is all about gig economy. Freelancers will be working a lot, and you'll have a very flexible economy driving the country. And according to this Niti Aayog report, by 2029 and 30, yes, the gig economy is going to pace up. So startups are going to be a fundamental entity, or in fact, I can say that important entity, if not fundamental at least, in building up this gig economy. So the report says that a small statistics I'm going to produce before you, that we have the skill job now. Skills job are around only very less in percent, 22 percentage. So this is going to have a drastic shift, and retailers are going to come into major picture. And this scenario is going to change within 10 to 15 years. This is what the expectations of every people who are brainstorming about bringing or pacing up the gig economy workforce in India. So this is why we are discussing about startups today. And I just want to bring this slide two times before you, not once. Now I'll be showing this slide just as a glimpse. And once again, I'll come back at the end of the presentation. This is all about when I have discussed my idea of talking to Maharaja Agrasen University, I just immediately called my TBI manager and asked that you just provide me one good slide so that I can share from our TBI side to all the fellow friends in the Himachal Pradesh. He told, sir, definitely you show this slide to them. This is how you have to register a company. These are the ways you can register a company. And of course, and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And I'll come back little later to it because this is perhaps going to be the last step of our session. So just have a look at it, keep this in your mind, and we'll come back and discuss this slide again. So this is where you can even ask at the end of this session and the question and answers that Kishore sir, you spoke a lot about startups, legal and ethical steps. And perhaps one of the participants may ask me that, sir, then we have a lot of challenges, sir, even though we have attended as mentee institution, a lot of lectures, and we all are going through this process of learning, relearning, unlearning, but still the challenges remains in the campus, sir. Yes, these are the three potential steps. We know that we have been educated by our MIC officials time and again that there are three stages: idea, of course, proof of concept, prototype, design, and startup, and all others associated business model, canvas, building up a business model, etc. But if you want me to categorize, I'll just say that there are three challenges that we